Why don't people like to talk about money? I feel like people like to talk about money vaguely. People will say something like, oh, I'm trying to get my money right, or I'm trying to budget, or I don't have enough this month, it's just not working out. But nobody gets into the specifics. If you are that friend who has all of the information, all of the knowledge, you need to share with others so that we can all get our money right. Hi, my name is Celeste Guerra, and this is Speak Your Truth. Today we are talking about money. I have confessions, lessons, tools, and today I have an outline. So if you are watching the video version and you see me glancing down, I am looking at my outline. I have a stellium in my 8th house, meaning I have 3 or more planets. And the 8th house is all about the things that are hidden, that are taboo, that are esoteric also. Also the shared resources. So I do not have a problem talking about things that are taboo or hidden, covered. I am here to uncover them. And that is why today we are talking about money. So just as a little bit of background, context, 6 years ago I quit my full-time job. That was my first job after grad school. It was a 9-to-5, stable, secure job and income. But then came the point, I think 1.5 years in, where I wasn't fulfilled. I didn't want to be there. I was bored. I was not being challenged. I was sitting in the small office looking out the little window into the parking lot thinking, out there is where life is happening, not in here. Here, I was just waiting for the phone to ring or for somebody to come in needing help. I didn't want to be there anymore, so I decided to quit. So that was the last time that I had a stable office job. From then, that was 6 years ago, until now, I have had temporary jobs, side gigs, been trying to build things. I have done it all. I have been an online ESL teacher. I've done DoorDash. I've worked for the census. I've had temp jobs. Everything. Because I need to pay my bills. And as I've been trying to create and build my own business and changing directions several times, I have also needed the funds to invest in myself. So when I say invest in myself, what does that mean? What do I mean? I mean being able to take classes, take courses, attend events, learn from mentors, from teachers, have coaches, and just build skills for my business, but also just to satisfy my curiosity. I like learning new things, and when I want to learn about something, I will dive deep in. Yes, the internet is great for that, but sometimes you need in-person or virtual, face-to-face mentorship, knowledge, and information, or just community to have that support. So that is what I mean by investing in myself. And that has led to debt. So I have accumulated at this point about $13,000 in credit card debt. And I am actively working to pay that off. I have been. It did not show up one day suddenly out of nowhere. It has been a slow, ongoing process. It didn't just happen overnight, basically. And there are about 4 things that I have learned that I wanted to talk about, to share what has helped me, what has worked for me, and hopefully that works for you, or hopefully it just allows you to feel that you are not alone. So number 1, actually before I start with the first tip or lesson that I have learned, let's talk about what debt is. Because debt is money that you made accessible to you. It's something that you created. There was this need or a want, and you needed the money. So you created that for you. You made it accessible. Maybe you had to fill out the credit card application. You had to sign up somewhere. You had to do some work in order to be able to access this money. It wasn't just given to you. You made it happen. So I don't want you to think, of course I don't want you to feel shame or guilt about your debt all of the time. Because it's also something that you did, that you brought in for yourself when you needed it. So starting with the first lesson that I have learned is the importance of getting clear on the numbers. I was working with a coach, not for money, but of course the topic of money did come up. And I realized that I was telling myself a story that was false. That I was struggling with money, that it was a very big barrier or source of problem. It was a really big problem. And it was something that I was working on. But it wasn't as big as a problem as I was making it to be in my mind. I thought I needed to be pinching pennies and really watching every dollar, and that I was struggling. I wasn't. I had enough. I was good. So what I did is I created a spreadsheet. I listed out all of my different bills, the prices, the amounts of the credit cards that I needed to pay. I really got clear on what was coming in and what was coming out and when. And just seeing those facts, putting those numbers on paper or on the virtual spreadsheet, it brought clarity, because my brain was saying that I didn't have enough, that I wasn't good, that I wasn't safe. And maybe yours is too. But is that true? And the way that you can figure that out is looking at the numbers, doing the math. Are you actually in as bad of a place as you think you are, as your brain is telling you? So that is number one. Get clear on your numbers, what they actually are. And if you've done this before, like I had, maybe it's time to review it. If something has changed, whether that's your income or your bills, whatever may be the case, get clear on your current numbers. That is very important. And with number 2 is keeping track of the payment due dates and the interest rate. So again, you can use a spreadsheet or a paper, a physical document by getting on track of what is changing, what the facts are. Being aware of maybe you have a promotional interest rate on a credit card and you know that it's going to be changing. That is good for planning. If you know that one card has a higher interest rate, maybe you don't use that card or you pay off that card first. Being aware so that you can plan. And of course, you want to be making the card payments. You don't want to be late. So just having a way that helps you do that. Whether that's setting reminders on a calendar, writing them out, using auto pay. I read this book. I will list the details below. It was called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. And this book was great to have that basic how-to. It was really great in helping someone who didn't have a good plan of how their money was coming in and going out. So really helping you set up your money system so that you're clear on what's going where. This is when I decided to actually use the auto pay function on some of my bills. I hadn't done this before because I like to manually move money around and pay bills, and also because I had to move money around. I had money in different places coming in at different times, and I needed to be able to get creative on where the money was going to be coming from. So if you have something that's more stable, then maybe auto pay is good for you. For me at that time, it was not. Number 3 that I learned from that book, call your bank to lower your interest rate. I have been calling a specific bank for about 2 months, and I'm still going to be calling. They have not lowered it yet, because what I learned from the first time when I called is that they can only lower it at this specific bank if they have a promotion going on. So the first time I called and they told me that answer, I said, okay, do you know when there's going to be a promotion? They said, no, just check back next month. We don't really know. You just need to keep calling. And then the second time I spoke to someone, I think they might have said, oh, there's not a promotion yet, but there might be one next week. Check in again. So I decided I was just going to call every week. So I've been calling every week. I don't think that there's a way that you can check, at least for this bank. There wasn't a way that you could just check online or on your online account. So I have been calling, speaking to people, and asking if there's a promotion to lower my interest rate. I have not been told that there is one yet or gotten my interest rate to be lowered, but I'm going to keep calling. I will keep you updated. I'll also let you know how many times I did call. But call your bank and see if you can get a lower interest rate. And then number 4 is understand your relationship with money. So this is not something new to me. It was about 6 years ago when I first came across the work of Linda Garcia, who was with In Loose We Trust, the podcast, when she first started talking about money and explaining it as energy. Since then, I have read and listened to many more books, podcasts, videos that help me to see money as an energy, and also really talk about the importance of the relationship that you have with money. I will also link a podcast episode that I listened to a while ago that I really enjoyed on this topic. There's also an exercise that was very eye-opening. I encourage you to listen to it and try it out. I love podcasts that are interactive, and this one was very helpful. And this is the most important part, I think. It's not something where you're like setting a budget that's more practical. You could say easier. Maybe you have a template, or maybe you go through a few until you find one you like. Understanding your relationship with money is going to take time. There's so many different layers that you're going to uncover, work on, and then see how they're connected to other layers or other aspects of your life. So this is where I have been, I don't want to say stuck, but this is where I have been working the most at this point. But it is very important. Some of the tools that I have used to help me understand this is just anything that helps me with awareness. So guided meditations, exercises like the one in that podcast, different tools that I have learned through Linda Garcia and her community. Definitely check her out. She also has a book that just came out. I have not read it yet, but I definitely recommend you check out her work or her Instagram. It's just awareness and really understanding what you think about money and yourself and everything that is related to it. That is all that I have to share at this point. That is what has been working for me Obviously, I have not gotten to the end of that journey, but I will definitely share as I see other tools that are helping me. I just wanted to share again. Maybe others don't have these tools, or maybe others think that they're alone and that they don't have a community or know of anyone else who is going through these things, because again, we don't really talk about the specifics about money, but we should. So I wanted to share that with you all. If you have any questions about anything I talked about, obviously I am not a financial expert. I'm not here to give you advice on money or finances. But if you would like more information on anything that I talked about, or if you want to share what has helped you with your money journey or what your money journey is looking like, please do share below. It would be great to hear from you, and also what you have to share could also help somebody else. So thank you for tuning in, for listening, or for watching, and I will see you all next time.